Hello, everyone. Welcome to Geekonomics. We're back. We're on the big set again, but we have new lights. And since we have new lights, the old set is still not ready to go yet. So we're on the big set, and we're using the big set desk this time.
I like this.
So we have the big set desk.
I like this set. It's cool.
Yeah.
I like the screen being down there. It's kind of
Yeah.
nice. I feel
It's
lower.
higher.
Yeah.
The chairs are
They're
more
the
made
same.
for that side than this side.
Yeah.
So the chairs are actually lower, and the desk is actually higher than the other one is. So that's a little thing to get used to. But besides that, yeah, we have the new LED lights are in. So
It's nice and cool in here.
crystal clear now. You get to see all the blemishes,
Ooh,
all the gray
God.
hairs on Brian's face.
Yeah.
and
you
hair.
know. I think I got more grays after this weekend, to be honest with you.
Yeah. well,
I'm
maybe.
still in the dark.
What?
You're still in the dark because no one cares about
Josh is still in the dark.
you. Yeah, in the dark. It's just you're behind a glass and everything. We just didn't. Yeah, there's no way to. I mean, you could turn a light up in there. I mean, that's the other thing you could do.
Oh, there you go.
But besides that, yeah.
No, I'm good,
so-
thanks. You're good.
Yeah, so no one wants to see you anyways.
Hey. Josh is the seducer producer.
Seducer.
That's why the lights are dimmed, because you don't want the ladies to know
you
too
don't
much.
want to know too much. You want to let go too much. He's like the banker in Deal or No Deal.
Yes, he's the banker. There's like a mystery behind the man.
Who is that guy?
Who is that? Who's that seducer
Who's
producer?
this banker who has all this money that he's giving away to people for some reason?
It's a
Why is
cardboard.
Howie Mandel doing
It's
it?
a cardboard cutout of a
Yeah,
dude.
It's just a guy. Well, it's actually a person sitting there because the arms raised. and
Yeah,
everything.
it's true.
Have you
Or a
seen the new
mannequin.
show?
Big mannequin just
It's a
doing
mannequin
this.
with like the hand.
Have you seen the new show where they actually split
On
it
an
with
island.
Survivor?
They're on an island.
And Joe
Isn't
Manganiello
Joe
hosting
Manganiello
it?
hosting it?
I kind of wanted to see
We
it.
saw the commercial for that one night, and Claire's like, "Who's watching this?" I was like, "Brian."
I watched it for like 5
I'm
minutes
not watching it.
because Boston
She's like,
Rob
"Why
is
would
on
Brian
the
watch it?" Like,
show.
Joe Manganiello. He thinks he's amazing.
But like Boston Rob
didn't
from
watch it.
Survivor is on the show.
Oh, whatever.
And so
I
it's
have-
got like a whole bunch of just random people on it.
I saw the
Yeah.
commercial on Peacock, and I was like, oh, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? That was a fun show to watch. But the island stuff, I'm like, this does not look like fun.
No, Deal or No Deal on an island, not Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Or yeah, anything
Yeah.
on an island just seems.
Yeah, it just
Silly.
seems weird.
I don't
It's
care.
like man, really
You-
jumped that shark.
You know they jumped the shark when
They hired Joe Manganiello. That's
no
who they
no
hired to jump the shark.
Netflix does a show Squid Game about this
They do a
corporation.
video game. They do a game show.
Then they
about the game.
actually do it one. It's just kind of like,
And then they fake kill everybody.
yeah, it's so dumb. I can't believe Anyway, we got a lot to talk about.
And that was interesting though. That show.
I have to watch Squid Game.
No, the game show one was kind of fun.
It feels dirty because it's
It-
kind of
it-
like picking
it's
on
kinda
what they're
weird.
doing.
It's just kind of strange.
Yeah, it's just
It was interesting though.
I do got to watch Squid Game.
'Cause
I'll watch Squid
They
Game.
do actually just like these people do live in like a huge like I don't know what they would call it, like a dorm room.
Yeah.
With all the bunk beds and everything, and they actually sleep there, and that's what it is. And like gradually, the people get eliminated, and they still just stay in this big, huge room with these bunk beds.
Seems weird.
It's very strange.
Sounds
It's very weird. And
It's
they
like
do all
you
like
telling me
the
about the
actual games.
contender last week.
The contestant.
The
Did you
contestant.
watch it yet?
I have not.
Oh man.
But I will.
Yeah. But no, that's Squid Game. The game show was interesting.
Hmm.
'Cause they do all this stuff just like Squid Game. Like they have.
And they
all
kill
the-
people?
Well, they do. They fake kill them. Like at the end, if you lose,
Yeah.
you like get killed, and like you like actually like shoot with a paintball gun,
Oh, okay.
and like the people are like laying there at the end of like rounds of just bodies, and then like
At the end, they have to become Amazon drivers.
no, at the end like you have to like do like the same thing that they do with the thing, and they have to like kill the other person.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
The only thing I've seen of that is when they did the glass bridge, and people
Yeah,
actually just
they actually do the glass
disappeared.
bridge and they actually fall. They have like a net and stuff to catch them.
I've
but-
never seen Squid Game, so I don't know much about it.
Oh, you should watch it. It's good.
When I get the Netflix at the end of the year,
Yeah, when you get the Netflix for the
For Raw.
you'll
because
have
I
to-
had no choice.
Yeah,
I have no choice in the matter.
that's how they get you.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is how life is.
They bring you
At
back.
least they worked out the deal.
They did. They were going
Yes.
to deal with the NBC to keep Raw on the air for USA,
For USA.
until
Yeah,
end of the year.
they were. I mean,
I mean, that would make
what
no
were?
sense. Why? What are you going to do?
Yeah, what were they gonna do?
So USA is going to have both Raw and SmackDown for like 3 months.
Oh, nice, because it's
Yeah.
gonna be on Fox. Fox
Yes,
is gonna.
leaving off Fox and going to USA.
Honestly,
SmackDown.
I like the USA broadcast. The Fox one, they are just trigger happy with that blur, man. It's constant.
Yeah, and they love the the drop-ins, the ad drop-ins.
Oh, yes.
It's constant.
Ad heavy. Even when I watch
Stay
it on
tuned for
Hulu.
UFL.
Yes.
Watch this terrible football game.
Football, NASCAR,
Well, NASCAR's fine.
hitting the hitting that button constant. It either goes to black
Yeah.
or it goes to blur.
Yeah.
Even though, granted, I know this past Friday, Naomi's top had
Yes.
issues, and I think that was a bad match because of her outfit.
Yes.
But they
And also
hit
because
that
she got hurt.
they hit that blur button constantly. It was just like, come on,
Yeah.
USA.
I mean, surprisingly, she was wrestling Nia Jax and she got hurt. Who'd have thunk?
Who would have thunk? But that top was
Walking
just
lawsuit.
not the best for her because it felt like as soon as whatever happened, that's all she was doing
Yeah.
was adjusting it,
Well, you know,
and
you
she
don't
couldn't
know these
really
things until
wrestle.
you try it out, you know?
Yeah,
Sometimes you have your name all over yourself.
yeah. I mean, she's a
I
great
think you
wrestler.
know who your name is. That's why I said to Claire. She was
Yeah.
like, why is it bothering you so much? I'm like, because it's annoying. It's like, why do you need to have your name all over yourself?
She's got a great outfit, but
But they have like, she has like it on her arms. It was on her chest.
I just
It
think
was on her butt.
if you're a
It's like,
female
we
wrestler,
get it. We know who you are.
I know. But if you're a female wrestler, I think these tops that don't have straps should just don't do it because it's not
Not a
even
good
worth
idea.
it. Not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
No.
But anyways, there's other stuff going on.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about.
This table's huge. I feel like I have so much like space. To
So many activities
can
we could
stretch
do,
out.
Mark.
I gotta put my arms way out here.
We can lay on it.
No.
Make
I
Josh
wouldn't
work.
suggest that. It's not that sturdy.
We could just like
It's sturdy, but not that sturdy.
we could spoon while doing the podcast.
Not too weird. Let's not do that.
Josh. I love that. He's cut away.
It was a good action shot.
It was a good
It
one.
was a good reaction shot.
This is why he's seducer producer.
That's why he's the paid. That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
He's gets paid
He
in
makes
Dunkin'
nothing.
Donuts.
He gets paid nothing. He doesn't even go to Dunkin' Donuts anymore.
Oh,
Wait, I get paid?
yes,
oh,
Ryan's supposed to pay you.
oh yeah, with hugs and kisses, compliments.
There's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Okay, so we have a lot of news to talk about. We're gonna end the show
Yes.
with our Shogun review.
Yes.
But before we get into the news, Mark, how was your week? You watch? Do
was
anything
good.
worth of note?
It was good. I built some Lego. I didn't bring it in with me because it's staying at the house.
Yeah.
I did the pod racing diorama.
I saw.
It was pretty cool.
Nice.
Not as involved as the other ones.
Yeah.
Just like the movies, wasn't as involved and
Well,
not as good. So it made sense.
This is pod racing.
Yes, this is pod racing. So did that on Sunday. Kind of just checked out Sunday. Tried not to think about what day it was. But yeah, besides that, just a regular week, nothing crazy. Did the lights here in the studio. That was basically all I did last week was
Yeah.
working on these. We literally started at Tuesday, took all the lights down last Thursday. Tuesday, Chris and I retrofitted all the lights that were being retrofitted. And then Wednesday, we hung lights. Thursday, my other coworker came and helped us like set the lights up for they're all like in the right spot. And then on Thursday and Friday, or one of those days, yeah, I feel like it all blends together. But no, Thursday, the guys from the lighting place came and reprogrammed all the lights into the board and everything. And then Friday, we adjusted more. And there's still more to do. But yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, looks good though.
I was exhausted. So by the time weekend came, I was excited to do nothing. We went out for my sister-in-law's birthday Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
Went to Pintu's,
Nice.
Indian restaurant there in, I think it's West Springfield,
Yeah.
technically. Yeah, it's a good place.
Yeah.
You ever been over there?
No.
Pintu's? Oh, I've checked it out sometime. That's right on the way to the movie theater in the Circle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so went there Saturday night, did that. Then they came over for cake and all that stuff. Sunday, just like I said, did nothing. I watched the Doctor 2, did the first 2 episodes of Doctor Who.
Well, I honestly I forgot.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts? What are your thoughts
It's
on it?
taking a bit to get used to the new Doctor, as always.
It
You
always
got to get
does.
used to the new Doctor's like
Yeah.
way of doing things. The first episode, and Disney Plus, because it's like restarting everything.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, that one they did last year or
Specials.
early last year,
No, it
for
was
Christmas
beginning.
time.
We created this is
Was that January?
Yeah.
The first one.
yeah.
It was January 1st, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one where they first introduced the new companion.
Yes.
That was they used that as episode 1 technically.
Right.
So this was episode 2 and 3.
Yep.
So yeah, episode 2 was good. Episode 3 was better. But yeah, you
I
can
mean,
tell
I
he's
like the
starting to get
companion.
his-
I like
yeah, they're
him.
starting to get that dynamic. Yes, it's not only you have to get a new doctor, it's also a new companion,
Yeah.
which doesn't happen often that they're both new at the same time.
Yes.
So it's getting that figured out and that whole dynamic.
I mean, I liked what I saw. We both
yeah
liked what we
Sec-
saw the last
episode that they did was good. It was all set in 1963, like the Beatles, and then like they introduced another one of the big bads of the year kind of thing.
Nice.
Like the same as the Toy Maker, just like that kind of character.
And we know something's going on.
yes, they
because
hinted at something.
they allude to it again.
Yes, they
okay.
allude to it again. That's
So
something
they're building
coming.
to something.
Yeah, they actually have a character now called the Harbinger.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Nice.
So I was like, ooh, D&D reference. So yeah,
Cool.
so that's pretty neat.
I got to watch it this week.
yeah,
I honestly forgot.
yeah, I did too.
They really didn't do a lot of.
They did a lot of promotions. They just did do it. It was like all over YouTube. Like
Oh.
like time I watched the video on YouTube, there was an ad for Doctor Who.
I didn't see anything for Doctor Who.
But it's on Disney Plus, so unless you're on like an ABC channel, you're not going to see much promotion stuff.
I mean, I subscribe to some Doctor Who YouTube, like a Who Culture,
Yeah.
and they, it's like an unofficial, official Doctor Who podcast, and I watched that, and I did see it. And I'm like, oh, it's coming out, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, I totally forgot.
Well, I forgot it was like the 10th was already, like May 10th was already. I was like, okay.
Yeah, jeez, it felt like it
Sure.
was just May 5th, right?
Yes. It really was last weekend. So it was
know.
like 2 weekends ago.
Slow down, May.
But yeah, this is a busy month. So,
Yes.
but yeah, besides that, just did that, and that's about all I did this weekend. I didn't really do much else.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I watched the last episodes of X-Men.
Yes, we are up. I'm up to date as well. The final is this week, so we'll
Yes.
talk about it. We'll
Part
talk about
3.
the series next week.
Yeah.
Um,
Part 2 was intense.
yeah, a lot of things are
Ends on the
happening.
splash page.
How'd it end?
It ends
last...
with Wolverine's getting the adamantium blown out of him.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it yet,
Well,
which is a huge splash page in the X-Men
Right.
lore.
Yeah.
I never really was a big X-Men comic guy,
yeah,
but I know that splash page because that's like a famous splash page.
it's one of those. Yeah,
Just Wolverine and all the metal shooting out of his body.
right. I mean, a lot of things are happening in the series. I really did not expect. But yeah, I guess next week we'll talk about the series as a whole because
Yes.
it's coming to an end, and I know there's going to be a season 2 and season 3.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I know the showrunner was fired, or let go. So who knows what will happen? But before he was fired or / let go, he did say he already had season 2 and 3 worked out.
Yeah.
So I don't know where they're going to go, who's going to take over, if they're going to go with what
There was a
he
big
was going to do.
staff of people that worked on that show originally that they all brought back, so I'm pretty sure they can.
I
pick
know,
it
but
up
the
and run with it.
showrunner's the guy who runs the boat.
Yeah,
He's-
but I mean,
it
I'm
was
pretty
his
sure all those
story.
people, it's been long enough that they've probably learned how to do that somewhere else, or they could bring someone back who used to work on it and have him take it over.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not gonna worry about it.
I'm not. It's not. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
saying. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
news that happened. He was let go before the show even premiered.
Yes.
So we don't know. But anyway, we'll save spoiler talk and all that stuff for next week because why not? Everybody will be talking about it.
Yes.
So finale is this Wednesday, tomorrow,
Correct.
as we record this.
As we record this, yes.
Oh
What else did you do this past week, Brian?
my God, what this weekend was crazy. It feels like every weekend is crazy, but
Yeah.
just a bunch of stuff. Just busy Friday and Saturday. Sunday, Allison and me finally finished Shogun,
Yes,
which we're going to talk about at the end of the show.
we are.
And I will keep my opinion and everything buttoned up until we talk about it.
That's what you should do.
Then, obviously, a lot has happened in wrestling.
Yes.
We can talk about that now before we get
You
into
can.
the news.
What does Allison think about your wrestling addiction? I'm curious about this because Allison doesn't seem like she'd be into it.
She's not.
Okay. I didn't think
not,
she would be.
She's not into it. She sometimes she's just like I'll have it on while she's working and she can hear it. Sometimes she'll think some things are funny, but she thinks it's cringy sometimes. And She was watching a match with me.
Yeah.
She got on the couch, like, it was like one morning. I was watching Friday show in the morning, and she watched the match, and she's like, okay, I have had enough. I can't watch this stupid thing anymore.
Which is the response of, I'm starting to get into this, so I need to walk away so I can act like I'm not into it.
I know. Anyway, I love it.
Especially if they don't say anything. Like
Yeah.
I've had that experience with Claire, not of wrestling, but other stuff.
Right, you're
Probably
right.
something I'm into, and she'll like sit and watch it for a little bit, and then she'll be like, I gotta leave. I can't watch this. This is dumb.
Yeah.
Like, You're just saying that because you like it, and you
Yes.
don't want to admit that you like
Yes,
it, so you're
yes.
trying to get out of here.
I know. I give Allison credit though. She did watch Saturday night's WrestleMania with me.
Yeah.
She did. She thought it was. She thought it was something. She made her comments throughout it, but she dealt with it. She watched it, and it was fun to watch it with her, even though maybe she was on the opposite side of my going, oh my God. She was like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. And I'm like, can you believe The Rock just did that? What's going on over here? And she's like, oh my God.
Oh,
Brian. Anyway, I want to talk about, because Raw.
It's one of my favorite things she does.
What?
Just so you know, when she does that, it's like one of my favorite things. I know something's really funny is about to happen, or has just happened. When I hear Allison go, "Oh, Brian," I'm like, "Oh, what happened?" I need to know. I know Brian did something stupid,
What else?
or he's about to do something stupid.
Yeah, you know me.
Either way,
Anyway, Raw happened in Hartford.
it did.
I talked to Tony, and like, if Raw happens or the Friday night show happens at Mohegan,
Yes.
we just got to buy tickets and go.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
That's fine, yeah.
Tony is down. He's like, I will
yeah.
go. He actually said he's like, Mohegan's preferred for him, and I get that
Well, because of the casino.
It's no, not because it's a smaller arena.
Oh.
And I will say,
I mean, Excel Center's not that big compared to Mohegan. It's
Okay.
like 6,000 more people probably,
so I'm watching the Monday night show.
which
right?
isn't really. It's a lot if you think about it. But
Right.
really not in the scheme of things.
The audience.
Mohegan is 8. I think XL Center's 15.
Yeah, something
Okay.
like that. It wasn't that much
Yeah.
difference.
But anyway, Raw's audience on Monday,
Yes.
in the beginning, was like, man, they are so weak. This
Yeah.
audience is horrible. They kind of picked up as the show went along.
That's the usual Hartford crowd. They're a late arriving crowd, Hartford. It's a common knowledge fact.
But, Mohegan's audience, I remember, was banging. Like when
They have a better sound system.
yeah.
So the acoustics in there are better. The building's newer. So the acoustics sound better.
And it's a smaller.
Yeah.
But anyway, Raw, I'm watching it, Mark, going, oh my God, they're in the corridor where
Yes.
we used to hang out
Yeah.
waiting for hockey players.
Yeah.
And I go, hey, Allison, we used to, and she goes, oh, that's the place we used to stand. I go, yes, right there, right
Yeah.
behind McIntyre.
Yeah.
Right
I do
where,
that all the time, Brian. I do that.
Yeah.
Like I watched it and they went, "Oh, they used the ramp backwards."
Yeah.
Yeah. But McIntyre gets in the car, takes off, right?
Yeah.
And CM Punk's talking. He keeps looking at his watch. I was talking to Tony about it, and Tony goes, yeah, McIntyre, if he hit one light, he hit traffic. He ain't coming back.
Yeah.
He's stuck in traffic.
In
And I'm
Hartford,
like,
you get out of there, you're
Yeah.
stuck. You're not carrying around and coming back.
Yeah, he jetted out of that parking garage and probably just hit a red light and was just like stop
There's
and
only
go
a light
the whole
right at
time.
the top
Yeah,
of the
there's a
ramp.
light
Yeah.
right at
Right
the top
there,
of that
so
ramp,
you can't get out anywhere.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
stuck.
Yeah.
and you can only go 2 directions.
You can't
like,
go. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can only go like you can't like turn around.
He
and
probably
come
got
back.
lost. Probably, I don't even know how to get back.
I mean, in Hartford, it's terrible. Too.
Yeah,
It's
it is
like
horrible. Everything's so condensed.
Everything's like yeah,
Um,
and just to get to the highway, you have to take like 7 streets to even get to the highway. So
right. Yeah. Anyway, it was a great show. That would have been an
I
awesome
love how
show
they
to
did
go
make
to.
it sound like Hartford's like a very big, bustling metropolis that you can't get back to the place when it's like I guarantee you the streets are desolate when he got to
Yes,
the top of that
yes,
ramp,
yeah.
and there's nobody around.
Yes.
and he's probably the only car on the streets.
Right.
At that time of night, so he could have easily turned around and just pulled a U-ing in the middle of the road and come back.
Right.
But then, like, how would he know? Like, who's gonna like call him and be like, "Hey, CM Punk drove in after you"?
No, they all tweeted at him. Remember?
I know, but I mean, if that's not promoting safe driving,
I know. I thought the
Checking
same
your
thing.
phone as you're
He's
driving.
checking tweeting while driving in
that's
Hartford.
a terrible
That's
idea.
what I thought
That's
too.
against the law.
They go, CM Punk, I want you to all tweet at
Like
him.
I was kind of was thinking to myself, the only thing better would have been like if they had like a texting and driving ad like right after that.
Yes,
Like as soon as it went to the thing.
Yes.
Like remember, kids, don't text and drive.
Right. I thought the same
Don't be
thing.
like Drew McIntyre and check your phone as you're driving down the highway.
But I am loving the CM Punk Drew McIntyre beef. This is like one of my favorite beefs because I like them both, and I kind of like CM Punk a little bit more than Drew McIntyre.
But my first thought,
but it's a lot of fun.
This is me because I watched it longer, I think.
Yeah.
My first thought, seeing Drew McIntyre get into that car and then seeing Punk get out of his car.
Yeah.
They're all using rentals.
Yes.
Where are you renting an old Z28?
They have money.
I thought the same thing.
But you're not renting a
where
Z28.
Where did he get that car?
You're not renting a Z28 from somebody.
Unless there's
day.
The only thing I can think of.
They can do.
No,
what
I
they
know,
want.
but the production can.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in real life, someone wouldn't like get a Z28 as a rental.
Mark.
An old antique Z28 as a rental.
Mark. They're not going to drive away in an old Honda Civic.
My second thought was, God, I feel bad for that production assistant who had to go searching all across Connecticut to find a Z28. Because I remember when I did Motor Badness at Riverside, my first job in television, when I was still going to his Nuntuck, we were production assistants, Benny Amenta and I. We were production assistants for Dusty Rhodes. And because he was the color commentator on that show back in the day. And he wanted a pink Cadillac. He wanted to drive in on a pink Cadillac.
You got to find a pink Cadillac.
So we had to spend all day, the first day of us being there.
Yeah.
This is before like Google and everything was prevalent. And
You got to
before
make
cell
phone
phones
calls.
were prevalent.
You got to make phone calls.
We were literally calling, like going through a phone book. We had to first find a phone book in Riverside, go to like their guest services to get a phone book.
Yeah.
Then literally just like calling every like car dealership, antique like car repair place.
Yeah.
Hunting for a pink Cadillac. Literally, like, probably took us 12 hours to finally find one.
I imagine.
We had to have, like, we had to pay the person to put it on a trailer and then actually assign an agreement saying that we could drive it, that he said he would drive it
But
in.
I think it's probably much easier nowadays. You just Google
Well,
that.
I know now, but I was
Yeah.
just like, God, I can't even imagine that. Like, the amount of work you have to do.
I mean, that's their
Because Drew
job.
McIntyre's is like a new car. Like you can definitely get a rental like that.
Yes.
Like when I rented one time before I had my own car, when I was doing the Big East tournaments at the XL Center, I had to rent a car for the week for that event because I couldn't use my mom's car at the time. So I remember I got a Dodge Challenger once, a yellow Dodge Challenger.
Dude, I go to
And it was
Enterprise.
like
they
coolest
offer me
week of my life.
they
like,
offer Dodge Chargers all the time.
Yeah, I know. But I was like, this was like a super, like, with the SRT, the whole thing.
Yeah,
the whole, like,
yeah.
I remember my dad was, like, hijacking it daily before I went in. He's like, I'm taking this thing for a ride. I'll be right back. I'm like, okay.
Did it have a Hemi?
It did. That thing revved, too. It was,
Remember,
like,
I drove
nasty.
the pace
It was in
car
the winter.
to your house
so that was the
one
only
time.
downside. It was, like, in the middle of winter. So
Yeah.
it's like, ooh, this
Yeah.
is sketchy.
I
I remember
remember
in Hartford, I was leaving the XL Center, going up the road to go to the highway. And it, like, as soon as I, like, put a little foot down, like just you normally would do,
it goes.
it took off. And I was like fishtailing on like Sullivan. I'm like out of the middle of that street in front of the XL Center. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Well, anyway, like, yeah, Raw was awesome. It was great. I watched Friday's show. I've watched a half hour of Raw this morning.
Some good messages on last night's show.
Yeah. So far so good. I just want to comment. I like the CM Punk and the Drew McIntyre stuff that's going on, but this is the most interesting match that they're setting up for King of the Ring. That we're going to be getting a Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul match.
Yes.
Which I'm very surprised.
I'm not.
But
It's Saudi Arabia.
now, is this going to be this is going to be the King of the Ring? This is going to be
Yes.
one of the
This is in
main
Jeddah.
matches.
This is the main event, probably.
Here's what this is why I'm just surprised. Logan Paul has his own belt.
Yes. Logan Paul's going to lose.
Yes. Are we building up a dynasty for Cody Rhodes? Because if
Yes.
he has two belts.
No, he's not. They're not going to go belt versus belt.
They mentioned that during the thing.
I don't think they're going to do that, though.
That's what he said. He goes,
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes said nothing would look better than two
Yes.
belts.
I don't think they're going to do that.
He wants the Grand Slam
Yeah, I don't
championship.
think
Yes,
they're gonna do that.
they-
I mean, I'd be surprised if they do. But if they do, then that's the reason. That's how they're going to get Logan Paul out of the company, basically, for a while. Is
He's not going to
gonna,
leave, though.
like, cycle
but
out
I
for a little
think
while.
Logan Paul works as the heel, and him having a belt
Yes.
this long, it kind of takes
He does,
the...
but he can't lose it. Like, see, this is the thing. This is the issue with putting 2 belts on somebody, especially something like that. If you put the U.S. Championship on Cody Rhodes,
Which they're
someone
gonna.
has to then beat Cody Rhodes to win the U.S. Championship.
Yeah.
So now you're implying that the person that beat Cody Rhodes for the U.S. Championship is also the person that can beat the world champion. Because they pinned Cody Rhodes, the world champion.
But
I was
win a
thinking
lower
about that.
belt.
But in the world of wrestling, Mark, they can. This gives Cody Rhodes. Okay, he wins against Logan Paul, which, come on, he gets 2 belts. He could keep the championship belt, but the other one he could fight, maybe lose on a technicality.
No. You're painting yourself into a corner with doing 2 belts.
But we know
Mark,
he's going to win the second.
I was
one.
wondering,
No.
could he
I don't think they're gonna put
just
the other
give
belt
up the U.S. title?
He could, but then that also, in storyline wise, if you think about it that way, you do it that way. See, the reason why I'm thinking about it, I started thinking about this more often, this kind of stuff, is I'm very tempted to buy the video game because they have a GM mode, and all this kind of stuff happens in GM mode. Like, you have to
Yes.
handle all the rosters and everything.
I'm waiting for a sale.
And my thought process on this is, okay, if something like that were to happen, where Cody Rhodes were to win the U.S. Championship,
I'm telling you.
and then were to then say, hey, I'm giving up the U.S. Championship, so then it could be won as like a tournament or something, then that's like, in the mindset of people, they could get the mindset of, well, that belt doesn't give, it doesn't matter because
You're devaluing the U.S.
devaluing
title.
it by just giving it away.
I don't think that's going to happen, Mark.
I think it's just they're just going to have the match between the 2 of them. There's not going to be any belts up against each other. I don't think Cody's belt's going to be up. I don't think Logan's belt's going to be up. I think it's going to be a match just to have a match.
No,
'Cause-
Cody Rhodes says title match against Logan Paul is for all the gold. This is 1 day ago.
Well, let's see when they actually announce it. If they announce it that way. If they do, then Cody's definitely winning.
Well, they would have to announce it Friday because isn't that the contract signing?
Yes.
Yeah, they're signing the contract, so we'll know then.
Yeah, we'll know Friday.
They will make the announcement, but
Yeah.
as of right
that'd be-
now,
I mean,
this is what it
It's-
stands.
If they're doing that, it's because they're doing it so Logan could then go help his brother get ready for Mike Tyson.
What's his brother going to do for Mike Tyson?
They're
That's
fighting each
coming
other.
up.
Yeah, I know, but what's he going to do? He can't.
He
what's
helps him train. He's his manager, his ring guy.
I mean,
He was
come on.
at the press conference
Yeah,
too.
he's like his manager
He was like,
guy.
Tyson is going to destroy him.
Tyson looks
I know,
sick.
but he's like Logan Paul's his brother's like Mickey in Rocky's corner.
You could do it,
You
buddy.
can do it, Mick.
You could do it,
You
Mick.
can do it. You can do it, Rock.
Anyway, this is going to be
You can do
interesting.
it. You can do it, Jake.
Because I think you set up Cody Rhodes. You give him a little dynasty going on there with these 2 belts.
Yeah, it's just stupid. I don't like it.
But we don't know where it's going to go.
Well,
Like,
it's
the
the
2
thing
belts
of,
made
okay,
And if
sense
he gets
when
rid
they're
of,
the
if he
equal.
gets rid of Logan Paul,
So-
I'm all for it.
I know Claire's the same way. If Logan Paul were to fall off the face of the planet tomorrow, she'd be okay.
I
with
would be okay with that.
I think
you
it
just take
would
a
make
spaceship
more
into
sense
it.
if it was the equal belts, like when Becky had both.
Yes,
That
if it
makes
was
sense.
Like if they were
Having the
like
lower
doing
one
the thing
throws
like
off.
They did when Roman first won the belts, and they were reuniting the belts or unifying the belts. That'd be one thing. But now you're gonna put the belt on Cody, and then like I said, so like a Kevin Owens or a Randy Orton or someone like that,
Yeah.
then's gonna have to fight Cody to win the U.S. Championship, and then that guy then pins Cody Rhodes for the U.S. Championship.
Yeah.
Does that then automatically make him the number 1 contender for the World Championship?
It could.
But then if he loses the World Championship match,
Makes it more interesting, I think.
You're just putting too many storylines too tight together.
Well, Cody doesn't really have much going on right now. I mean,
Yes.
because he's on top of the hill.
Well, they need to build up a bad guy, a main heel, to go after him,
Right.
which they don't really have right now.
No, they don't.
Because without Roman and The Rock, there's a very big vortex of
But in all
of
honesty,
not, the next big bad guy.
in all honesty, though, I think the Cody Rhodes
it's not far
storyline is
enough.
over. They need to let that settle because a lot of things are happening in the rest of the league. So I think Cody Rhodes, we're gonna build to something, but him having 2 belts could lead to that next storyline. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I do agree. It does seem a little bit too much
It's
because it just seems out of
it's
place.
too jumbled of a. It makes it more difficult to write for. That's
I
what
don't
it
think
does.
so. They know what they're doing.
No, I
This is
know.
why
What
they
I'm
get
saying,
paid.
but it makes it more difficult to write storylines when you have a 1 belt or 2 belts on one person.
But you
Because you
could
can't have them wrestle twice in a pay-per-view.
no.
So that's the thing.
But you
So it's
can
like,
have
okay,
someone
so
go
if
after
Cody
the
were to
U.S.
win-
belt.
So if Cody was to win both belts,
Yeah. Then he
so
can.
now the next pay-per-view, which is like 3 weeks away from that pay-per-view, yes.
No, I
Like
know. but
SummerSlam is like 3 weeks after.
SummerSlam's in August.
Oh
No,
Yes,
July.
August. First,
no,
I think it's the
something's
first.
in July.
SummerSlam's August.
No, the Battle in Berlin thing's in August.
I am 90% sure SummerSlam's in August.
'Cause they're already selling. They already have,
Summer
like, ticket things going on.
Slam 2024. It is in Cleveland.
Yes. Cleveland rocks, don't you know?
I know. It is in August 3rd.
Okay.
See? August.
So there's got to be another one in June then. Something in June.
Well, they have
June is Clash at the Castle,
Clash of the Castle.
that's what I
and
knew there was
then
something.
Money in the Bank is July. Then SummerSlam
That's
is
what it's Money in
August.
the Bank.
There you
So,
go.
so in that case, all right. So Cody were to win both belts at King Queen of the Ring, or whoever the
King of the
longest name in the history of wrestling. Then you've set up the thing where now in 3 weeks, Cody's got to either defend the U.S. Championship or the World Championship at the Castle event. So if he's just defending the World Heavyweight Championship at the Castle event or whatever it's called, the WWE Universal, whatever, that means the U.S. Championship's not being defended.
Yeah, that's fine. It gives him more opportunity.
But then you're like taking away one title match that you could have on the card.
You know, I
It's
just
still a title
thought
match, though.
I don't like it.
I can see them putting up both belts, and then disqualification and no belts change.
But then it's and that's the other thing. That
You know
could
what?
do, but that's
I
lame
think
too.
honestly, the possibilities of what could happen are
I mean, the
kind
fact
of
that
endless.
they can't just find someone else to fight Cody Rhodes and just put Logan Paul in a match with somebody else
Logan Paul
is just like
Logan
lazy
Paul?
writing.
Well, Logan Paul wants. Maybe you're right.
This-
We give Cody Rhodes the big pay-per-view. Logan Paul loses and he's gone. That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
I think it's more it almost just feels like this is a Saudi thing.
This is a Saudi writing.
It's
That's what
it's a
this is.
Saudi writing just to have gold versus gold.
Yeah, no, this is.
And
this
then
is the
something's going to
Saudis
happen where
pushing their
nothing's
weight
going to
around,
change.
saying they want Logan Paul in the main event match, and the only way to do that is to put him in a match against Cody. And because he's so intertwined with the Saudis.
Because honestly,
that's
it
how
feels so
Cody- that's why
forced.
Logan
It
gets
feels forced.
all the stuff for these shows because he's very tied in with the Saudis, I guess.
Well, we don't know. We know he's a big sponsor though with Prime
Yes.
for WWE.
Yes.
I don't want to get into the whole politics of it all, but I think it will be interesting because I just want Logan Paul gone.
Yes.
So I'm for it. I'm the
want Prime
opposite side
gone.
of the coin than you guys. I'm fine with it.
I just want Prime gone.
I don't think Prime's going anywhere.
It's gross.
I don't drink it. I don't care. Doesn't bother me one bit.
I don't know. I have a feeling about Prime, but I'm not going to voice it on the public.
I don't-
the public's place because I don't want to get in trouble or Logan Paul coming after me.
Sponsors do not influence me in any way, so I could care less.
They don't influence you, but
They influence you.
younger people, they influence them very much so.
Well, it is what it is. I mean, I think it's no better, no worse than any other fast food or like Mountain Dew or any of that. It's all the same stuff. I mean, Prime is just basically like a Mountain Dew,
Just Gatorade,
thing,
basically.
Gatorade with a label on it. That's all it is.
All sports
My whole
drinks are
thing with it
basically
is-
off Gatorade.
My whole thing with it is do they really need the Prime bottle set up and the whole thing in the
It's
corner?
a
It just
hydration
seems
It's
so
the
stupid.
hydration station.
It's so
The hydration
stupid.
station.
yeah.
Which is like
That no
none
one
of-
ever uses the hydrate.
No.
But yeah, that's what I mean.
Slam
It's like if
into
you
it.
were better at the promotional thing of it, the better marketing would be to have in the middle of a match or two, like a long match, if someone's like really like going crazy in a match, would go over and like if they're like winded or something, would be to have them go over and like get a Prime and like drink it, and then they get powered up.
exactly.
Like, that's what Logan Paul could do.
That's
They
what
get
I mean,
powered
it's
up
like-
from the prime.
Well, he did. He had the Prime guy.
Power of the prime.
He had the Prime guy come out and help him.
Yeah,
His partner.
but I'm saying, but he
But
had
that's what I
the
mean.
hydration station.
Yeah.
That should
But
be
it-
like Logan Paul's thing. Like in his matches, when he's getting beat down and he gets thrown out of the ring, his thing should be like to get over to the hydration station and get him some prime, and then he's primed up and he's ready to go and he's coming back, and then he gets beat. And loses.
But that was
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Is that's my thing with it. It's like it's just sitting there, dude. If they did something with it, it'd be different. But it's just having it sit there
It's
seems
just
so
you
out
see
of.
it. So it's subliminal messaging kind of thing.
Yes,
It's
that's
like,
all it is. It's
all you do is
effort.
you see it, and now you want it.
Right.
But like, there's so many like UFC does the brand integration so much better with like how they have stuff on
Well,
like
that's what TKO is working on.
I know, but
It'll
the
take a
Prime
bit.
just seems so forced and just lazily just
You'll
we're
be
going to put a
surprised
bottle
if you
there.
actually sat back and you actually like deconstructed a WWE show, and you looked at even beforehand the amount of promotional stuff that was done in it and the amount of sponsorships that are in it. Like if you looked at even just WrestleMania by itself, like almost every other match had a sponsor on it.
Yeah.
So they're not hurting for money, trust me.
No.
No, but that's what I mean. Is that was at least done to a good extent
Yeah.
and
But
seemed
anyways.
smoother.
Anyway, let's,
Moving on.
Yeah,
we're
but just-
we're
Next
talking about
topic
this way
is-
too much. Anyway, the
Zon.
brackets
Oh,
are being
the
put
brackets.
together. So we're gonna do our sheet the week before
next week.
By then, I think we'll know who's
We
gonna
should
be.
have an idea of what's going on.
Because
for,
I think they're gonna finish it this
well,
like
the finals
Friday.
will happen.
Friday.
No, that'll be semifinals. So the finals for the men's SmackDown side and the women's SmackDown side will happen next Friday.
This coming
Before.
Friday or next
No,
Friday?
next Friday.
All right. So we'll
We'll have
do,
an idea of who's going to be in it.
Right. We'll do our best.
Yeah.
It's a tough one because it's a bracket base, but we also
I mean,
do
you can
have
kind of
matches.
figure out the bracket.
Yeah.
You can kind of figure out who's going to like if you didn't know who was going to win last night's matches, then you haven't been following what's going on. That's all I got to say.
Well, I haven't finished, but yeah, I'm pretty good at guessing. I will say there was a really, I think it was during Raw or SmackDown. It was the Pitbull. What's her name?
Ivy Nile.
Yeah, that match was a tough one because they seemed like they just couldn't get their moves together. It was like
Yeah.
they were constantly like not being
That's
able
all
to
the other
do
tough
things.
thing is that you
That
have.
was a tough one to watch.
Yeah.
I kind of felt bad.
Yeah.
Like she was trying
Like
to
that's
do her
the
moves.
match I thought should have been put onto the weekend, like house shows,
Right.
and the other match should have been put on. But then come to find out, Selena Vega didn't even wrestle because she got hurt. So it was Maxine Dupree, and then it was like, oh well, no wonder why they put that in the house show because
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler was going to walk over Maxine Dupree.
Yeah, this is the first time seeing these two women wrestle. I don't think they've been part of the shows in a long time.
Ivy's wrestled a lot, but not
but not
as much.
Yeah, I haven't really. This is the first time, but it just seems like they couldn't get their act together. Like
Well, sometimes it just doesn't. You just don't mesh.
no, it was
You don't
not.
gel.
Yeah, it was not a
Chemistry is a big component.
It was a tough match.
And also their styles too. If their fighting styles are not in line, you have a chance to get a bad match.
Yeah.
It's like the video game. That happens all in the video game. Like different fighting styles don't match up together, and
Yeah, it was a tough one.
different personalities just don't work.
But next week we'll talk more. I am liking the new people that got brought in. They're pretty awesome. I so far it's been a great new season. Obviously after WrestleMania and the draft.
Hey, what do you think about Jay adopting the Fireflies?
I don't think he didn't adopt. He got that. I think he got forced the Fireflies. I don't think he adopted them. I think they were just put on
But
him.
you know what I mean, that he's embracing
I have
the
a feeling
connection.
Did this happen on SmackDown
on
or Raw?
no,
last
on
night?
the French on Backlash when he came out, all the phone lights.
Oh yeah.
They call those Fireflies.
Oh no, that
a
was
Bray Wyatt
awesome.
thing.
Yeah, that was.
But then on Monday night they happened again, and
Yeah.
then they happened again this past week too.
No, I have to say the Monday Night
So,
Raw
I think
audience did
that's-
not give Jey Uso the entrance he deserved. It was very weak.
Well, this past week's was better. I think it's taken a bit to.
Oh,
get
I haven't
over
seen
here.
him yet.
Yeah,
I only
he's-
watched
and
the first 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you watch
Monday
it,
Night
Brian,
Raw, when he
Yeah.
came out, man, the audience was
Hartford,
weak.
At Hartford, it
weak.
didn't look good.
yeah.
This
Hartford,
week,
it
they
wasn't-
seem to get
just-
it all
it
together.
takes a bit could, it's because people aren't. I'm not sure if it's because that he's adopting the Fireflies, or they're setting up him as the first, like, match for that new group to go up against.
I wouldn't be surprised. Well, yeah, I don't want to say anything yet. I don't know where we're going with everything.
There was stuff dropped last night that hints at things.
Yeah. Right now, I had to stop it during the Gunther match. The Gunther match. We had an electrician come in. We had some electrical problems, which he fixed. But yeah, I could not finish Raw. All right. So
at least the power's back on.
Yeah, it was just bad wiring. He fixed it.
That's good.
So we have some news, and then we'll get into Shogun.
Okay. What's the news, Brian?
Big news.
News from the Zon.
Prime. I had a big announcement.
Prime Zon.
Amazon Prime, and it makes me feel like, because the shows I've watched on Prime have been really good. I have no complaints.
Well, Fallout, yeah.
Fallout, Mr. and Mrs. Smith were both amazing. The Boys is amazing. I really loved.
Good Omens is good on there.
That's a show I have to watch.
You gotta. It's good. 2 seasons.
So they confirmed we're getting a Tomb Raider series with Phoebe Waller-Bridges as writer and executive producer. So that should be good. That would be. I think Lara Croft lends itself very well to a series, not a movie.
See who they picked to be Lara Croft.
I think with
the newer Lara Croft wasn't as. I liked her. I wasn't a fan of Angelina Jolie as Lara Croft.
I actually really liked the last.
De Armas.
Yeah,
that was a good movie.
Yeah, she was good.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I wish we got more.
Yeah,
it didn't do well.
It didn't.
But I think a series, because of the success with Fallout, I think this could be really good.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, Amazon does the productions are really well done.
That's good TV.
It is. Even if it's a bad show, at least the production's going to be good.
Exactly.
You can't. They throw a lot of good money towards it.
Yeah. Even that Lord of the Rings show is good.
Yeah, and now Peter Jackson is doing movies again.
And now, Peter Jackson's coming back to do Lord of the Rings again?
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on
Is
here?
there more books that we don't know about?
No. I think he's redoing them.
Redoing them?
No.
It's
there are other books and there's more lore that I think he wants to get into.
You know who would know all about this? John Francia.
Yeah, John Francia.
Get him on the horn.
Get him on the horn.
No,
but from the sound of it, he wants to do more of the in between from what
between Bilbo's and Frodo.
Like more village stuff and
Gotcha.
I'd have to look into it more, but it looks interesting.
Oh, here we go, Mark. Josh and Mark. The Warner Brothers to release new Lord of the Rings movie, The Hunt for Gollum, in 2026. Peter Jackson to produce, Andy Serkis to direct. So Peter Jackson's just producing, and they're just doing The Hunt for Gollum.
Okay.
There you go. Because I guess Gollum is on the run.
Well, no, because they're doing the story of when he gets the ring. Of how he gets the ring.
Yeah, there's a whole
they tell the
story
in the movies, don't they?
They do a little bit of it.
Flashback sequence or something.
Yeah, but it's literally him getting the ring and then him going mad.
Then him turning into Golem.
But it happens in 30 seconds.
Well, it was more like a couple minutes maybe.
But I have
Nothing
a feeling
was done that quickly in Lord of the Rings.
I have a feeling there's stuff that
even the trees walked in that movie.
Yeah, but there's a whole I think there's legend stories of the ring race and all that going after Gollum.
As long
That's
as
why
it's
he goes
better
crazy.
than The Hobbit, because those movies were
The first one wasn't bad.
They weren't bad. They were just.
They focused too much on that one guy losing his mind.
You know the definition of cash grab? They put the Hobbit movies in.
No, it's called the Meg.
No.
And Meg 2.
Because the Hobbit is a 100-page book.
Well,
and it was 3 movies.
That's the thing.
With so much garbage.
They made.
By
they
the end of
added
the
characters.
3rd movie, the Hobbit himself was not even in it. It was all on everybody else, and it was just like, what did I just watch?
Yeah, Destination of Smog wasn't bad.
It lost my interest in Smag.
Smaug.
The 2nd movie into the 3rd movie, I was just like, this could have been one good movie.
The 5 Armies was a little much.
It was way too much. This could have been a series or one movie?
It was because they wanted to,
Cash grab.
wanted to show off all the fancy things they could do with computer graphics.
And it didn't recapture the Lord of the Rings magic.
Because they didn't walk anywhere.
They did walk away. They walked a lot of places
They
in those
just walked
movies.
to that one mountain, and that was it.
It's
The other movie, they kept walking, and they just threw the ring into the thing, and the movie was over.
Now, why didn't they just have one of the birds take the ring and drop it into the volcano?
You can't do that.
End of story,
End of
baby.
Even the trees walked in that movie.
End of story. I do want to watch.
One of the greatest. I don't care what anyone says.
That was from Clerks too.
Clerks 2.
Yeah,
One of the
Clerks
greatest movie scenes of all time.
Him railing
ranting
against
about Lord of the Rings, and the guy gradually losing it.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah. That's so good.
Ugh. The fact that he did that, he had to shoot that in a take, and had to time he messed up, he had to start from the beginning again.
Yeah, because it's one long monologue.
That's one long monologue.
The only return is of the Jedi, not of the King.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I still got to
How
watch
many
Lord of the
endings can you have
Rings
one movie?
movies. I still have to watch them. I keep saying it.
I know it's your big thing for
I
this
own 'em.
year. You're supposed to tackle
It was
that.
last year, the year before.
Was it last year?
Yeah, it was last year.
Oh, you're behind.
I know. So
I might
anyway,
just have to lock you in a room somewhere and make you watch them.
I know. Tomb Raider's happening. We're getting Mr. and Mrs. Smith season 2, which Allison and myself are very happy.
You know, it would be a cool thing, sorry to go back to the Lord of the Rings thing.
Oh boy.
You know what we could do?
What?
We could do a series of you and I watching Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
and just do like you did with Twin Peaks, but just have us watching Lord of the Rings movies.
Like
And
a
commenting on
separate
them.
a separate podcast.
Yeah, and commenting on it.
Well, we could do it.
Because we don't know anything about the movies. I never read the books. I
Wait,
still don't know
what?
half the people are.
No.
Wait, you haven't read the books?
No.
How? I had them all in the house.
Easily. I didn't pick one up and read it.
I didn't read them either.
Wow.
There's movies. Why do I read the book?
Yeah. While pictures do what words can do.
Yes.
Why-
Pictures do more than words can.
Yeah.
Have you watched the movies at all?
I've seen
I
the
watched
first
them
movie.
once. Maybe 20 years ago now, maybe. When they first came out,
Wow.
maybe.
I saw the first movie.
When they
half
first
of the
came out
second.
on HBO, I might have watched a part of the first one.
You know what you should do? You should watch the Hobbit cartoon movie.
Oh,
and
I've
then-
seen that one.
Yeah,
I saw that
Hobbit,
when it
I
came
grew up
out.
with The Hobbit.
I saw that when it came. I owned that one on VHS tape at one point.
Hobbit was
okay.
great.
But no, the Lord of the Rings movies. I know Kylie was into them, and you were into them, Josh.
Oh yeah,
But,
I had the extended cuts.
Yeah, but I think I watched each one of them sporadically. I never think I've seen them all the way through. All three of them.
I
The
mean,
Hobbit ones I watched because I liked the original, so I watched those. But
yeah,
I didn't watch all six or whatever. How many are there? 3?
very.
Feels like there were 6 of them. But
Was it
Three.
very
There's
long?
3 of each.
the extended cuts, isn't it the size of 6 movies?
Oh, if you wanted to watch the extended cuts,
I've never seen the extended cuts
the
ever.
extended cuts on their own. I think is a whole day
Yeah, I've
Yes.
never seen the extended cuts.
because they're like 8. They're like
I think we should watch
5-hour
the extended
movies.
cuts and do a podcast of just that.
Well, we could be an offshoot.
Yeah, an offshoot of this show, but
we
do
can go in the other room,
Yeah.
watch one,
Yeah.
and then come in here and record something.
or just film it like us watching it.
Well, you could do that too.
Yeah.
But we can come in here
And
and talk
commenting
about
on
it,
it.
and we can edit it together.
Yeah,
Make it like it could be a YouTube.
yeah,
thing.
exclusive.
Yeah. It won't be on the podcast. It'll be on the YouTube
Yeah,
of us watching Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings and talking about it.
yeah,
Yeah, we could do that. That'd
Yeah.
be fun. That'd be interesting. It would be like get here at 10 in the morning, watch
Yeah.
it in an afternoon,
yeah,
then come in here and talk about it,
yeah,
and then edit it, put it out, and then once that's done, do the second movie, the third
yeah.
movie.
Well, no,
So-
at one time, but
Yeah.
the extended cut full length for just the 3 movies
yes.
is 12 hours.
Good lord,
Yeah, we're going to do one.
one.
Then
How long
one.
is each one though?
So it's 4 hours apiece.
4 hours?
Yeah.
Good lord.
Yeah.
We don't have to do the
And that's-
extended
and that's-
cut. We can just do the normal cut.
And that's just Lord of the Rings. That's not the Hobbit extended.
We're
either.
not doing the
They did a
Hobbit.
Hobbit extended cut too.
I'm pretty sure there is.
Peter
Cat-
Jackson's just as bad as Zack Snyder.
Cash grab Hobbit.
Man.
I'll never watch the Hobbits again.
Zack Cash Grab Snyder has nothing on Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
Good lord.
Yeah. Well, there's a difference, though. I will say that Peter Jackson, at that time, you had to put those movies at a reasonable hour for the theaters. And then the home release, you got the extended cuts. Zack Snyder was just, he had circumstances, people hashtag, they got it. But now with this whole new show, it makes no sense. It's all gimmick because
Rebel Moon
could be done exactly the way he wants it.
To be done.
But he chooses not to because
he wants to use the gimmick of
it's a gimmick. Yeah.
Whatever.
And both movies have been panned by audiences and critics, and I don't know why Netflix will continue to make
they
them.
already paid for them. So they got to keep making them. You already paid for them.
God, what an embarrassment. What an embarrassment. I mean,
you figure they would have got the hint after the terrible zombie movie he did.
Yeah, that movie was a shit show.
That was a
horrible
pile of horse poop.
It was like watching a movie on public access.
Actually, I wouldn't even say that. It's like watching a student film.
Yeah, it was horrible. Anyway,
Ugh.
let's reel it in real quickly.
It's the only movie. It's the only thing I've ever seen that made Dave Bautista look more wooden than he already does.
Dave Bautista's a good actor.
He is, but this made him look super wooden. Like it literally took like his character from the Marvel universe, where he plays like a wooden character basically, and like just like here, just act like a plank of wood for like.
Well, when you have a bad director, that's what.
No writing, and the whole
bad
Team Notaro
writing.
like filming on a green screen.
Yeah.
The Hobbit trilogies, extended cuts is another 9 hours.
Oh my!
Sit through that. That's for sure.
Dude,
So that's
sorry.
No.
that is what
That's ridiculous.
22 hours of movies.
You know what we should do? Here's how we should do this. I'm thinking about this now. We do these Lord of the Rings movies,
Yeah.
but we have John watch them with us, and have John explain to us what's actually going on.
Oh God, no! I want to enjoy them.
Did you know when Vigo kicks his helmet, he breaks
No, not
his
even
toe?
that. He'd be like, in the book,
I don't want to know that.
Gelgamorth is the cousin of Zikabelgabob.
Just call,
Durka Durka
seriously,
is related
just call,
to
just
that's
call,
Muchacho.
have Stephen
Muchacho.
Colbert show up. He'll tell you the whole thing.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
But,
All right.
yeah.
Real quickly, this is the one show I'm excited for. Spider-Man Noir with Nicolas Cage, live action, has been
Ooh.
greenlit by Prime Video and MGM.
Wow.
I'm behind this because it's going to be on Prime.
Yeah.
It
Seems weird that they would let that happen, though.
Why?
Is that a Sony thing? Oh, it's a
Yeah,
Sony
it's a Sony
property.
thing.
That's why.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a.
I think it's going to take place in
random.
It's going to take place in
That's going to be
1930s.
so weird.
It's a random though. It's a random drop though. It's like a random pull.
He's going to be doing the character from the Spider-Verse.
Oh, I understand that, but it's
Yeah.
just a random. Yeah,
I'm all for it. This is the one I'm
Yeah.
actually very excited for.
I'd be into that.
Yeah.
And you said live action?
Live
Yeah.
action. Very excited.
A lot of stuntmen are going to be used for that show.
Well, he's covered up, so you would never
Well, I
know.
know. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm saying,
yeah.
It's not going to be Nick Cage flying around.
It's probably him doing just the voice.
It's going to be Mandalorian style.
yeah. But I think if it's done well, and it's going to be a lot of people from the Spider-Verse movie and from other projects that are well known. I think it's going to be
well,
good.
because there really wouldn't be anyone else from the movie, the Spider-Verse movies.
Well, Lord and Miller are the ones who pitched this with a few other people. I'm just saying there's good writers and people
from
behind.
that side of the thing.
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
Not
Behind
not
the
the
thing.
movies, not the actors
Yeah.
and stuff.
Nicolas Cage is the only one that's we
yeah.
know who's going to be in it. He's the star. And it's just him recording a voice.
You know what other live action version I'd watch?
What?
That Jake Johnson's Peter Parker,
Yes.
the guy from New Girl.
Yes.
I'd watch that show.
Yeah.
Oh, Peter
He's basically
J. Parker.
playing the
whatever.
Tobey Maguire. Is he playing?
No.
No, he's
He's playing just regular Spider-Man.
older Spider-Man
Yeah.
with a kid.
With a kid,
Yeah.
yeah.
Chris Pine basically played Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Yes,
Chris
Chris
Pine played Tobey
Pine
Maguire.
And
played
then
Tobey.
he
Okay.
was the other one.
Yes.
Good call. Good
Yeah.
call. So that's the news. That's all the stuff coming up from Prime. We got to end the
Coming
show.
to that season. Coming to that season though, of show announcements and stuff.
Mark,
This June we got the boys.
did you play that Spider-Man game where it changed dimensions?
The last Spider-Man game I played was Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation.
Okay, I didn't know if
I
it
don't have a PlayStation,
I
and all the
didn't-
Spider-Man games are on PlayStation, so I couldn't. play
because
anything.
I remember that one where you
Brian, I'm sure,
played the
played all
four
of
them.
different
Yes, I played all of
Spider-Men.
Yeah, Brian has played all of them.
Was
There-
it Brian that played it?
Yeah.
No, so Josh, I know which one you're talking about. There's a Spider-Man game that came out. This is back in the 360 PS3 time. there was a game where you had different variations of Spider-Man, and Noir was one of them. I don't know the name of it. It's one of the Spider-Man games I own, but I have not played.
Have you not played it?
It just came out in a time when I wasn't gaming a lot.
No. But you have the systems now. You could.
Yeah,
play
I
it
could
now.
play. I could crack it open. I think it was like Alliance or something of that nature.
Shattered Dimensions.
That's it. You got
Did
it.
you play as Noir? Was it Noir, Symbiote Spider-Man, regular Spider-Man, and Spider-Man 2099?
Yes. Yeah, I do own that. I think I own it for the 360. Like, there was a point in my time of my life I didn't game a lot, but now I pick up games when I see them at tag sales for super cheap, and I think that was one of them. And I'm like, I'll get to this eventually. But sometimes it's hard to crack open the old stuff when I'm in the middle of playing the new stuff. So what are you gonna do? All right. Mark, we've been going along. We should get into our Shogun review.
Shogun.
Yeah, don't judge off the timer. I didn't start on time.
I understand.
Oh,
But I'm looking at my time, and I know we were hitting about an hour.
okay.
So Shogun, we watched 5 episodes this weekend.
Oof.
We watched the last 3 Sunday afternoon. And because I'm up at 5 in the morning,
Yes.
and I'm bushwhacked by 9 o'clock, we tried to watch a couple at night.
Not 9 o'clock in the morning.
Well, that too.
Because that'd be. Whew. What a day.
Obviously.
4 hours.
9 o'clock at night.
I'm exhausted by 9 in the morning.
Yeah,
I need a nap.
You know.
Grandpa needs his nap.
I have fallen
the couch.
asleep during some of the episodes, and I had to rewatch
Not
them the next
surprising.
morning.
Not surprising.
Allison goes, Brian, you need to rewatch this tomorrow morning,
Yes.
and we can finish it.
Yes.
Because I literally had my head in my hand with my eyes were closed.
I know the
I'm like
maneuver.
this.
Yeah. I know the maneuver.
So,
I've seen it D&D.
Shogun,
Yes.
what a show.
I'm telling you.
The acting, phenomenal.
Right?
That first episode felt like a movie.
Yeah.
Whoever filmed it, the director, it just felt very cinematic.
It has a podcast, associated podcast as well.
I did watch behind the scenes stuff on
Yeah.
Hulu. I didn't know there was an associated podcast.
Yes. They talk to the different people from the show and stuff.
The guy who played Yoshi, the lead, he's
Yes.
the one who produced it.
Yes.
He was a big producer, and it was his idea of getting the show going.
Hmm.
And behind the scenes, he would basically do his part. It showed him pulling off everything into his street clothes, walking across the parking lot, and he's on the phone
Yeah.
working on the next scene.
Yeah.
And that was his day.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. But this show is definitely one of my top 5s of the year.
Oh my God. It's so good.
Yeah.
The set design and the set pieces were ridiculous.
Yeah. And
Where they shot it and everything and how they shot it.
oh my God, it blew away anything else I've seen
No,
on
yeah,
television
yeah.
for set.
Yeah.
Because it didn't, right now, I think we've all had fatigue when it comes to Disney volume. We know
Yes.
when it's in the volume at this
Yes.
point.
It
But
reminded me of Lord of the Rings, like that epic,
yeah.
set pieces and set design and all that stuff.
Right. It was, top
and,
notch.
perfect integration of CG for the city shots and different things and
And that's what it usually
Stuff
is, and
like
you don't
that.
even notice it.
no,
you don't
yeah,
even know.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just pulling up the cast. Now I did read something saying that they might be doing a second season that would be based on something else.
Yes, the next book.
Because this is based off a book.
Yes.
The
next book takes place 600 years after that.
So it'd be all
book.
new people, pretty much.
So it could be all new people, but it's the ancestors of those people
yeah.
from the first book that are involved in that next book, supposedly. I haven't read the books, so
Yeah.
but I read up on the books. But yeah, so it'd be cool to see.
Technically, they could keep some of
They
them
could
if they're
keep some
playing
of the
the
actors and
descendants.
just have them play ancestors of their people, whatever.
Yeah. Now, I have to say, Cosmo Jarvis, who has the most funniest name
Yes.
I've ever heard. Cosmo, basically, he was named after Kramer and
Paul
asked.
Bettany's character.
Yeah, Paul Bettany. He was amazing as John Blackthorne.
Best voice in a long time.
Right?
His voice is ridiculous.
Great accent.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
A very, like, you can't, like, mimic that anywhere.
Now, when you first saw him, I did not expect that voice to come out of that face.
That's the other thing,
It
too.
threw
It's like,
me
it's
away.
one of
I'm
those
like, what?
voices. It's like Austin Butler has that same kind of, the face doesn't go with the voice. The voice doesn't, like, fit.
Right,
Kind
totally.
of throws you off for a second, like, what? And then it's like, okay.
Yeah,
Then it's like, oh, I can't think of any other voice he would have.
right. I do want to say I don't want to spoil much for this show because I think people should watch it and give it its support.
It's epic. It's an epic
story.
Epic story.
You know what I really liked about it though? It didn't, without spoiling much, it didn't go where I thought it was going. It was more of a psychological,
Yes.
more of making the pieces move from afar. That's all I'm gonna say.
There was also a lot of bloodshed, but not in a way that was gratuitous of it. It wasn't like they
Right.
didn't lean into it, like
No.
they didn't like rely on it.
You know what it was though? When
used it for
violence
effect.
when the violence happened, it
Yes.
meant something.
It meant something. There was a
Right.
reason for it.
Right. It wasn't just for
Just
hey,
to make good violence happen.
Right.
Like, here, let's have a sword fight, or
Yeah.
here, let's blow this thing up.
and I think what also brought it together, like Allison, I didn't think she'd get into this. First episode, she was in.
I told Claire, I'm like, you have to watch this show.
You know what it
It's
was
like-
though? It's the love interest between John Blackthorne and Mariko.
Yes.
That whole thing, I think it's the
Yes.
women in,
Yeah.
and then the whole other stuff gets because that dynamic.
It's like a political intrigue, too. There's
Was
a lot
good.
of political intrigue in it as well. So it's like
Yes.
if you're into that kind of stuff, it covers pretty much everything. It covers like all the different things.
You know what I have to say? It was a better executed and more clearly defined storytelling. I put it up there with Game of Thrones.
Yes.
But at least they knew where they were going with
Yeah.
this, other than like Game of Thrones. But if you like Game of Thrones, I think you would love this too
Yeah.
because
they
it
only
has
had one book to cover, whereas Game of Thrones had multiples and then not
no
a book
ending. No
to
ending.
end on, so they had to make it up on their own.
Yeah. You got the realms. You
Yes.
have these people, politically intrigue, like you
Families
said,
and different
families,
things.
dynamic.
And then a fish out of water story and thrown into that.
Right.
But you definitely could see, like, I don't know if this is a fact, but you could definitely see where, what's his name from from Game of Thrones was definitely somehow influenced by this book because it's very much
Yes.
similar storytelling and like
Right.
you could kind of like I don't know. John would probably flip out if I said certain things about how I've thought about the show.
Why? You can have an opinion.
But no, I was like he very much thought of Blackthorne as kind of like the Jon Snow character, like the fish out of water kind of character.
yeah.
Like in the fact that like he was thrown into like having to
This situation.
be in charge
Right.
of or try to like take over the situation.
Well, he also went from trying to like live and
Yeah.
tried to figure out a way to be like, hey, I'm not a bad guy, to
Yeah.
actually becoming something bigger than himself.
Yes. Yeah.
The hero's story,
Yeah.
the hero's journey
Yeah.
is his character.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like journeys each character takes.
Yes.
I think one of my standout characters was I got the list here. I'm going to say his name wrong, but it's Kasigan. He was kind of like friends with Yoshi throughout.
The sidekick to the main guy there.
You met him, and
He comes to a certain situation at the end of the series.
right,
that-
but his character
Yes.
was very interesting.
Yeah.
And even though sometimes I hated him, sometimes I liked him.
yeah.
The actor was amazing.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, they all were. Acting and everything was like there wasn't one person who put in a bad performance in this. That's the other thing about it.
Right.
That's crazy.
And I want to say it was so bizarre. I don't know his name, but he was in Lost. He was in Bates Motel. He was only in the first couple episodes. He was the only one of the few guys who spoke English. I'm trying to look up.
Oh, he was on the
God.
boat. One of the guys.
Yes,
on the boat.
on the
Yeah.
boat.
Yeah.
I can't think of his real name.
I don't know, but I know who you're thinking of.
You
but I
know what you're
can't think
talking
of his-
about.
Yeah.
It was so weird seeing him. I go, oh my
Yeah.
God, it's the guy from Bates Motel. But his beard was so
Yes,
bushy.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't recognize him. I was kind of hoping he'd come back, but he was only in like 2 episodes.
There's a lot of people who like were like character actors that popped up into this too, that were kind of like the other Spaniard guy who was the I don't know if he was the captain of the black ship or whatever. He was really good.
Yeah.
But the girl who plays Mariko was fantastic.
Yeah.
I kind of found out that she was like a K-pop star at one point. Like that was where she comes from.
Wow. I mean, yeah.
It's crazy.
Show is just phenomenal. And honestly, I'm so glad FX allowed this to come out. And this is why I've always loved FX, because they always take chances with things like this. And this just proves, like, you can do outside the box normal television. I mean, this it's kind of like a gamble, because a lot of this is subtitled, and then there is
basically a lot of subtitles.
It
kind of reminded me very much of like a Kurosawa film kind of stuff.
Yes,
like the precursor to Star Wars, kind of like the same kind of like it could have been like a Han Solo story, basically. You know, that kind of thing. But it was it's very well done.
Now, did you watch the dubbed or the subtitles?
Subtitles.
We did the subtitles. We got halfway through, and I said to Alice, and I go, "Hey, there is a dubbed version if you prefer." And she goes, "Oh, no. Subtitles is fine."
Yeah.
We have subtitles on no matter what. So for us, it made no difference.
Yeah. And I feel like I watched the first like 2 or 3 episodes with the subtitles. And then I like saw the dub thing. I'm like, oh, well, nothing against the people who they got to do the dubbing,
but the voice
doesn't have the same effect.
And you don't know if they're translating correctly if the subtitled is altered when they're
we also don't get like the actual emotion of the acting with the dubbing.
Yeah.
I mean, with the cartoons, it's different. Like you're not like seeing the facial expressions of the people as much.
You're right.
But in like a live action, it's kind of like.
And I think
they're like acting in the way their voice sounds coming out of their mouth.
Yes.
Of saying certain things, you kind of get that emotion. Whereas if you don't do it that way, it doesn't really affect it as well.
I agree. And I think with anime, if I can watch a dubbed version, I will, because anime has a lot going on.
There's a lot more going on. You can't really keep up
and
with
they move quick. This show...
And if it's too bright of a screen with too much flashing and stuff, it's hard to read the subtitles.
Right.
So you can't, and then they speak quicker.
They spoke very slow and deliberate.
It's very the different type of storytelling.
Right. But man, phenomenal. Don't want to ruin much. I say one of the best shows I've seen this year. It goes in my top 5 of this year.
It's in my top 10 of all time shows. It was only like a limited series kind of thing, but I would watch multiple seasons of that. Like I was disappointed when I found out it was just one book, and they weren't doing any more.
You know what though? I'm fine with that. I like the one and dones.
No, I know, but I was like, oh man, it's like that was a sign of a good show to me. Is that if it's like that and you don't know, and then you come to find out it is, and then you're like disappointed because you're like, oh my gosh, I want to see like where the rest of his story goes.
Right.
Like, what if he does go back to England? What Yeah.
Well.
But
I don't want to ruin anything, but I don't think that's going to happen. But
no. But I'm just saying, like in the book, he doesn't either. He stays. Yeah.
But that could make an interesting story.
They do like hint at it in the final episode, so
sort of.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he decides to do another story based on these books or what have you, I am 100% there.
Yeah. Because the next one, like I said, takes place 600 years after that one. So
right.
And they're not in that order isn't the way they came out. The books came out in a different order, like time wise. Like it jumps around the books.
Yeah.
But it's all like based in that kind of. It's called the Asian Saga, is what that writer called his thing of books.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
So the writer's since passed away, I believe.
Who?
The writer of the book.
I have to imagine.
Because his wife, I think, is the producer of it. Like, she's the one that, like, is executive producer on it.
So, Marcus.
Bryon.
I know what you're going to give it. What in our Geekonomics rating, what do you give Shogun?
I know it's only May, but I'm giving it a 10. And it's saying it's going to be the best show of the year.
All right.
I don't know what else. Like, it literally has everything that I need, that I like look for in a show. Like,
Right.
I was enthralled by it. I was like angered that I had to wait week to week to watch this.
I will even say to you, I didn't know I needed what they gave me, and I loved it.
Right?
Because I didn't know what to expect.
It really was like not promoted in a way that made it something I wanted to see. So then like I got into it after it already had been airing for a while.
Yeah.
So I was like, what? And I was like, this is
I
not
heard
what I was expecting.
Word of mouth was all good, and
Yeah.
then when I watched the trailer with Allison's like, doesn't look that good.
Yeah.
And then we watched it, and she goes, man, that trailer was horrible. Because
Yeah.
this show is way better than that
Yeah.
trailer. And that happens.
Yeah.
You can see a bad trailer, and it's really good, or you could see a really good trailer, and it's really bad. It does happen.
It
does happen.
It does happen often.
Mark, this is my second 10 of the year. I give it a 10 as well.
Wow.
My first 10 was the final season of Letterkenny.
Yes.
I gave it 10. And you, this is your third 10
Yes.
as of now. You gave Letterkenny season 13 a 10. You gave Fallout a 10. And now
Yes.
you're giving Shogun a 10.
I told you, I said there was literally watching two of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. Fallout and Shogun.
Yeah.
I would like enthralled the past like whatever amount of months I've been watching these shows. It's like,
Yeah.
what is going on?
It's been
They
good
come out
television.
and like at the same time, no one really made a big deal about them.
Well, Fallout was all over the place.
I mean, it wasn't like after it came out, it was. But I mean, like beforehand, it was kind of like, Fallout. We'll see what happens.
Well, because nobody knew
I
if it was
never, I
going
didn't
to
know
be good
anything
or not.
about Fallout. I
How
never
is your
played any of the
Fallout
games.
gaming? Are you still playing?
I feel like I'm in a spot. But I'm trying to figure it out.
You're in a spot. That happens. You get stuck.
I'm at Good Neighbor. I'm doing the Shroud missions,
Yeah.
and I'm at the last mission of the Shroud where you have to go outside the Good Neighbor to get to the person.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's like super mutants like right outside that I have to get around.
Yeah.
And I don't have any energy in my power armor
Oh, this happens.
to get around, so I'm like stressing out about it.
You either have to figure something else out
So I got to find.
or pack up on some life.
Well, that, or I'm also like debating about breaking down. I'm trying not to break down and look up
Oh, who cares?
stuff
Look,
on the phone.
who cares?
I'm trying not to.
I do it
Trying
all
to
the
play
time.
like a normal person would have played. When
I
it
hate
first
to
came
tell you,
out.
all normal people look things up. You get stuck, you look things
Yeah,
up.
I know.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I've gotten to a point in my gaming
and I'm seeing
where
like, and
I'll look
started
things up.
because I started playing the game now. Like Google is like sending me like every video on
Oh,
YouTube
I'm
about it.
sure. I'm sure.
So it's like I'm getting inundated with information. It's kind of like I don't really need all this information at once.
Right. Well, see if you can figure it out.
And then,
There's-
like from what I thought at the beginning was going to be me building a lot of base stuff. I
You don't
feel
have
like
to.
I'm as building as much at the base as I should be.
It's an optional
Everyone's
thing.
happy there though. The numbers are up high, so that's
Right.
fine.
That's what I did. I really didn't lose myself in building because you need supplies. It takes a lot. You have to grind to get that stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just playing the game.
And let them do it. Like, what
Yeah.
are they doing?
Yeah.
Just standing around, walking around by themselves.
You
Let
have
them
your-
put the work into it.
Your people are there helping you.
Yeah.
So who cares?
One thing I've noticed, I don't know about this, because I've thought about this as I was playing recently.
Mhm.
I haven't seen the old lady in my little area in a while.
Well, sometimes they can leave. They disappear.
Oh, okay.
She was one of your companions, right? All your companions are in the
Yeah.
that neighborhood.
Yeah. Well, what's his face is at the castle waiting for me. Because I haven't gone there yet.
Oh, the castle with the crabs. And
Yes.
Yeah,
I haven't done that yet.
Oh, that's a tough one.
So
That took me a while.
I'm waiting on to get to that yet. Right now, I'm just in the Diamond City area, like doing those things.
Yeah.
But
And Fallout is glitchy. Glitchy things happen.
yeah.
That's just part of Fallout.
Yeah.
Like there is glitches.
Yeah. Well, I made her a chair, and since then I haven't seen her since I made her a chair. So I don't know. I don't remember where I put her chair. So who knows where she's sitting?
Did she
doing-
want a chair? Was that
Yeah, she asked for a chair.
Oh, okay, I remember that.
You have to build like a special. It pops up in your thing as like a special thing you can build.
Yes.
You just build her chair, and then she has a place to sit.
Right.
Like, all right, whatever keeps you happy.
Yeah. Do you have to place it somewhere special though?
No, just anywhere.
I remember.
I put it in one of the houses.
Yes, I think I put it in a house. Yeah.
I'm very tempted to kill that one lady who never wants to talk to you.
Don't.
She gives you aggravation all the time.
Who?
In Sanctuary, she's like, I don't have time to talk to you. Why are you giving me so much? Why are you
Who's she
do
part
something?
of though?
She's with your group that you first find.
See, if you kill someone, it might bite you in the butt later on.
No, I'm not going to. But it's just like
I
one of those
know.
things where you want to
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like shut up.
Yes.
I saved your ass. I gave you a whole town to live in.
I mean, you could. If she doesn't have anybody that's connected to her, you could, and I think you might be fine. But you might need her later. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm fine
wouldn't
with not killing anyone I don't need to kill. But
Yeah.
no, I find random. I just ran into like a random tower in like Boston, downtown Boston area. It was just full of raiders. I wasn't even supposed to go there. It just like
Yes.
popped up on my thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I'm in the mood to bust up some raiders. And kind of found out they had a power core in the bottom of their base. And I'm like, well,
Yes.
score.
Yeah.
And I've already burned through that power core. already,
Of
so-
course. It goes by so quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to go find the comic book and then like the suit there. And then you have to go to the comic book
yes.
store and
Newberry Comics.
fight all the ghouls. And then, yeah.
I remember that. That was because it goes down into the basement, I believe, right?
No, you have to go up into like where they're filming where they had the movies
the
being
movie
filmed.
Yes, okay.
You got to find the suit and everything, and then you wear the suit, and then you go
Yes.
beat up people in town. And then
Yes.
that's
yes.
where I'm at right now. So.
Right. Okay. No, okay. I remember all
Yeah.
that. I did that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man,
but it's like finding dedicated time to play too. That's the other thing.
life has been busy.
Yeah,
Yes, I hear you,
yeah.
dude. Ever since I've
'Cause
been
if I play, it's like I want to like be able to have time. I don't want to just like
with Fallout, you need a
when I
good
get home
2
from
hours.
if I get home from work,
Yeah.
and then like Claire we have dinner, and then Claire wants to hang out. It's like I don't want to like
Right.
disappear for 2 hours and go play a video game, and then she's like, I'm going to bed. And it's like, all right, see you tomorrow.
Right,
Maybe
right.
if I see you.
Yeah. Fallout is like you need a dedicated time. It's
Yeah.
a time sink. It goes by quick.
Yeah.
You start it up, and then like a whole 2 hours goes by. You're like,
Yeah.
I barely did anything.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
also am like in this weird thing where I don't like investigating things at night
Oh yeah.
because I worry
Something bad's gonna
bad
happen.
things come out at night.
Yes.
So I'll sleep. I'll find a place to sleep, and then
Mhm.
I'll wait till it's daylight again, and then
Mhm.
I'll go do whatever I want to do
Yeah.
because
It's
I can see things in the daylight where I can't see them at night.
Yeah. It's like Red Dead.
Yeah.
It's like you go out and do your stuff during the day, or
Yeah.
chance it at night where bad things could happen.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
I know sooner or later I'm going to have to do the nighttime stuff, but
You might.
I'd rather not if I don't have to.
I hear you.
Yeah. And I don't feel like I'm using my companions to as much advantage as I should be.
Well, yeah, you have some.
Because all I do is I have the dog, and take the dog with me everywhere.
You should be using as companions because some of them are really good at lock picking, and they could do the lock picking for you. Some of them are a little bit better at combat,
Yeah.
so you should be taking one of them with you instead
Yeah.
of the dog.
No. I like the dog though.
Yeah, I know, but like I think the girl's good at lock picking. You have to look at what they are, but like some of them can help you out
Yeah.
in some of your missions. And if you have someone who can shoot
Yeah.
with you, that helps you out big
Yeah.
time. The only thing is if they fall, then you got to
Stem pack them. Yeah.
or they can die
Yeah.
forever.
Oh, forever?
I think if they get killed and you don't help them out,
Not like the dog, where the dog like comes back to life after a couple minutes.
you know, it's been a while. I don't know.
'Cause the dog, like if you just don't stem pack it, it just recuperates and comes back and then hangs out with you again. So that's why that's why I always stick with the dog. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, the dog's gonna recuperate, then I'm not gonna, let the dog go distract people. Then
You know,
I kill
Mark,
them.
I don't remember, but I feel like they can die. I feel like they can. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just be careful.
Yeah. Well, the dog I know doesn't do that. So
Interesting.
yeah.
It's been so long since I
Yeah.
played.
The dog, like I send him out, he distracts, he gets shot, then like he starts whimpering, and then I'll just
Jeez.
hide out, and then the people like be distracted by that, and so then I'll kill them, and then like the dog like reappears by my side like 10 seconds later. I'm like, oh well, there you go, good, you're good to go.
They don't die forever.
They don't die forever.
They don't die forever, but they go out for a while. I think they time out for a while.
Yeah. Well, like they time out while they're injured,
Right.
and then they recuperate,
Okay.
and then they come back, and then they help you out again.
Oh, Fallout 3, they were allowed to die. Fallout 4 doesn't allow it.
So there you go.
Interesting.
In that case, then
right.
cannon fodder. Here we go.
But you need
Cannon fodder. Here we go.
You got to get a fighter with you. It will
Yeah.
help you out big time.
Well, I've really haven't met that many like team people yet. I got the robot,
Yes.
the dog, and Piper.
Piper, she's the best.
Yeah.
I had her. I used her a lot. I
Okay.
think she's good at lock picking.
Oh.
I think.
I'm pretty good at lockpicking.
Maybe it's the guy. Someone's good at lockpicking because they would do the lockpicking while I was taking people on.
I feel like I'm not very far in the game yet. I feel like there's a lot more to the game that I haven't gotten to.
Have you gotten to the laboratory?
No.
Because that's middle of the game, laboratory.
No.
Okay. Well,
I'm in Diamond City. I'm in Good Neighbor. And that's about it.
Okay.
When I was in Good Neighbor, I was investigating around and went inside the town hall, and they told me about the Salem.
Yeah.
So I haven't done that yet.
Okay. All right. So you got some time.
Yeah.
It's gonna take you all summer.
Oh, I bet. I'm gonna be sick of it by the time I get done with it.
It took me 5 months to beat Cyberpunk, but I loved every minute of it. It's just I just didn't have time. Just it was hard. It was hard to get some time.
Yeah.
In. All right, Mark. We should wrap it up.
Yes.
So, I don't know where I'm going with this. Next
Shogun.
week,
You gave it a 10.
I gave it a 10. We both gave it 10s.
Yes.
10s. Next week we'll be talking about X-Men 97. That will be our next show review.
Yes.
We probably will go into spoilers probably with that, I have to imagine.
Oh, yeah. There's be a lot. I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of things going on.
A lot of things will be happening. And then next week, are you saying we're going to do our bracket?
Yes. Yes.
I'm looking at the calendar.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be Monday.
So what we should do...
It has to be Monday, so we won't even have the finals of that done yet either. So we'll just kind of figure it out.
I know.
We'll rough it out. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
I'll make it work.
Okay. We could do a scenario. You could be like, well, if these two people
like
make
we did
it,
last one, we'll kind of like just pick however way you think it's going to happen.
right?
If you get bonus points, if you get the guys who win or each bracket final.
Kind of like the bloodline thing we did.
Yeah.
Or bloodline rules. You pick the right one, you
You
got
get an extra
points.
point if you figure out if you get it exact who's actually going to win
Gotcha.
the brackets.
All right, sounds good.
The Raw bracket and
the Raw.
SmackDown bracket.
But man, Shogun's been fantastic. Like TV's been great, but
Yeah.
I have to tell you, man, I am so happy. I am really into wrestling because it's probably my favorite thing. I look forward to it every week.
And that's good.
It's
That's
fun.
good.
It's a great.
The thing I look forward to every week is starting to get their schedule announced tomorrow. So I'm very excited about that.
Oh.
The NFL.
Oh.
115 days, the opening day.
Yes. Oh my God! Stop.
116 days to my birthday.
I don't want to think. I want this. I want to enjoy now.
I'm ready for football.
Jeez.
Get over this stupid summer stuff and give me the cold weather and the leaves falling off the trees. and
No.
But there's still hockey.
Boo. Give me football.
No. I don't want to rush summer. Dude, this winter was just
Ready for
drag.
spring training. Ready for preseason. It's the best 20 weeks of my year.
Jeez.
It is.
But the
my God.
WNBA starts
Spend
today.
every Sunday on the couch watching football with Claire. It's the best time of my year.
But WNBA starts today.
It does.
But WNBA starts.
Yes. Caitlin
They
Clark
sold out Mohegan Sun.
I heard.
Caitlin Clark is playing tonight. The Mohegan Sun.
Yeah, they're doing really good.
Yeah.
All right, we should wrap this up.
You know what? Throwing out a marketing idea really quickly.
Yeah.
Before we go, if the Indiana Fever is listening, I'm sure they're not, but if someone from there is, you guys are missing out on a great opportunity to team up with the Clark Bar and put Caitlin Clark on the Clark Bar and sell them at games. You can have that for free.
You think they'll do it?
I'd be dumb not to.
The Clark Bar.
Yeah. The Caitlin Clark Bar.
The Caitlin Clark Bar.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good.
That's pretty good marketing right there. It makes itself
Pretty
pretty good.
Especially when WNBA games are going for like $400 a game ticket now.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah.
They have so much money. They're actually having chartered flights.
That's good. That's what they should have.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Is like they're finally
That
like.
shouldn't be something that's like
And they're,
surprising.
they
shouldn't
have
to
two-
bus to games.
But they also have 2 new expansion teams too.
Yeah, they do.
Was it Golden State announced the Valkyries?
Yes.
And then they're
gonna put
adding
in
one in
Toronto.
Toronto. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
More sports, women's sports, the better.
You got it.
On that note, we'll be back next week. As always, be safe, be well, and be kind.
Rewind. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody. Night, Rocky.
Do 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 do.
I already stopped.